Hi everyone, it's Sam from Sitemate. In this video, we're going to look at how we can use the Sitemate links feature inside of Dashpivot for timesheets and effectively allow our entire workforce to be able to submit timesheets into our Dashpivot account, but without needing a Dashpivot login. So they'll actually do it via the Sitemate app, which anyone can download, and it's just a more cost-effective way of collecting things like timesheets from your workforce. So we're going to take a look at how we can set that up and what that looks like from the worker's perspective when they go to actually fill out a timesheet and submit that into Dashpivot. So here we are on the Dashpivot website, and the first thing that we need to make sure is that we are in the folder where we want our timesheets to be submitted and that we've got our timesheet actually set up. So you can see I've already got a timesheet template here, which is great, and this is the one that we're going to be using. So if we head to the links tab, you'll see that we have two options, single and ongoing. We actually want to head to the ongoing tab. The reason for that is for things like timesheets, workers are going to be filling that out on a routine basis, once a day, once a week. They need ongoing access to the timesheet so that they can submit it. So for that reason, we're going to be setting this up as an ongoing submission Sitemate link. And please note that it is a paid feature. So while the Sitemate app is free to download and install, this particular feature, if we're setting our link up as an ongoing Sitemate link, it just means that those users will become Sitemate form users, which are paid. It doesn't cost as much as a Dashpivot license, but it is still a paid feature. So just be mindful of that. What we want to do is click this button here to create a new link, and it's going to open up a window where we can give our link a name. So in this case, we're just going to select timesheet, and then we just need to make sure that we select our timesheet template, and that's all that we need to do. We're going to click generate link, and it tells us that it's been successful. It does give us a little warning though. That's because our timesheet is actually set up as a workflow template, which means that we've got multiple stages based on some signature fields that we have on that template. And all this is telling us is that basically the person who's going to be filling out a timesheet via the Sitemate app will only be able to fill out the part above that first approval signature. So basically the first section of the form. But we're comfortable with that, and you'll see exactly what I mean in just a moment, but I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And you can see it's got two options here now to distribute that link. So we can either just copy that link to our clipboard, insert that into an email or a text message, send that out to all the relevant people so that they can then click on that link and add the timesheet into their Sitemate app. The other option is to print out a QR code poster. So what's really neat about this is we're just going to go ahead and download that. I'll show you what this looks like. The idea here is that we can print out a bunch of these posters and stick them on the walls around our site or around our office. And when someone scans this QR code, it's the same as if they'd clicked on the link. So it's just going to open the browser, allow them to copy the link and paste that into the Sitemate app to gain access to the timesheet. So I'll step through that process in just a sec, but just wanted to show you what this looks like. So you could just print out, 5 copies of this, stick them on the walls. What's neat about them is that, they've got instructions here as well. So for someone who's, arriving on your site, they can just follow these instructions to gain access to your timesheet. And it looks very professional. It's got your logo and everything up the top and some info down the bottom about what folder it's in. So super clear where the information will be going. So let's head back into Dashpivot and click Done. And that's pretty much all that we need to do from the Dashpivot person's perspective. So if you're the person who's generating this link, just make sure that you send it out or print out those posters so that people can access it. Now, I've actually, here's one I prepared earlier. So I actually already have a poster that's been printed out. We're going to follow that, and I'm just going to open up the camera and grab our poster and just scan that QR code. So you can see it's recognizing it up the top. So we're just going to tap on that. It's going to open up the browser, and it's got some information here. Basically, it's just telling us we need to install the app, and we're going to need this code. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy that code for now. Click Install the app. Now, I already have it installed on my phone, so I don't need to wait to install. I'm just going to click Open. And it takes me into the app. Now, the place where I need to paste that code is actually in the Forms section. going to click the Add Forms button, and you see there's a box now where I can then just paste in that link and click Submit. And so what that's going to do is it's now added that timesheet into my Sitemate app. So I'm going to click OK, and that's great. So now, if I want to actually submit a timesheet, let's say it's at the end of the week or at the end of the day, I'm going to tap on that. It now opens up the form for us. You can see that the submit button up the top is actually disabled initially. That's because there are some required fields here, and because this template is set up as a workflow, whoever's filling this out needs to make sure that they actually sign off the very first approval signature on here. So I'm just going to fill this out quite quickly. Let's assume that it's for this week. So I'm just going to put in the full week. You can see there's a whole table here where we can enter in our start and end times. It's going to auto calculate our hours and overtime and things like that. This template is pretty neat. I'm not going to fill out everything. I think you probably get the idea, but if we scroll down, just going to fill out this section. We can see it's also required. I'm going to click no. And then we have this a section to sign and approve what we've filled out. So we just need to sign that. You can see it actually puts our signature on there, and it locks all of the content above. And at the same time, up the top, the submit button is now enabled. So assuming that I'm happy with this timesheet, I would go ahead and click the submit button, and that's going to submit that into Dashpivot. So you can see it was loading there, and now it says that it's been submitted, which is great. So we're just going to head back into Dashpivot, and if I refresh the page, we should now see that we have a timesheet form that is being submitted into Dashpivot. So you can see it's actually this one here. And then over time, all of your workers, if they're submitting the timesheets, they're all going to go into your Dashpivot account. So you'll end up with all the records in here. You can view it in the register view as well, which is really neat. And it's ready for review and processing. So that's really cool. One last thing. So if we head to users, we did say before that as soon as someone actually follows that link and adds that timesheet into their Sitemate app, that person will become a paid Sitemate form user. And if we head to the users section, we can see under Sitemate users, we have a section called form users, and you can see I've popped up there. So this does mean that we will need to pay for this person to have access to submit those timesheets on an ongoing basis, but it's not the same cost as a full Dashpivot user. So yeah, and then from here you can see which links they have access to. So you can see that there. That's basically the one for the timesheet. If you have any questions, feel free to send them through to us via the live chat on the Dashpivot website. We also have other videos about different other use cases that you could be using the Sitemate links feature for. So feel free to check those out in our video tutorials section. And just get in touch if you have any trouble or any specific questions for us. So that wraps up this video. Thanks for watching.